This presentation is a continuation of transistor power amplifier, and in this one I'll be explaining I'll be deriving the equation for conversion efficiency or collector efficiency for a class B push-pull power amplifier. Then I'll be we'll be seeing what is the crossover distribution, and then we'll be seeing power amplifier class AB power amplifier I'll be seeing. Then class C power amplifiers also will be explained. Class B push-pull amplifier consists of, there are two transformers, one at the input side, drive transformer, and one at the output side, that is output transformer. And here we are applying the signal at the primary of the drive transformer, and secondary is a center tapped one, in which the terminal capital A and capital B, they are the voltages or the signals coming in, they are 180 degree out of phase. During the positive half cycle of the input signal, A will be positive, and during negative half cycle of the input signal, B will be positive. That is why during the positive half cycle, top transistor TR1 will be conducting. During the negative half cycle of the input, TR2 will be conducting. During the positive half cycle of the signal, TR1 and the upper half of this primary of the transformer will be conducting. Now here the dot representation, looking to the dot representation, here is the dot and here is the one dot, and here is the other dot, and here also is the dot. Therefore in this one, current is going like this one, and due to that current is here leaving the dot. That is why here also the current, output current will be leaving the dot at the here because of the primary current here, and then you will be getting a positive voltage or sinusoidal positive voltage across the load during the positive half cycle of the input. During the negative half cycle of the input, TR2 will be conducting, and here when TR2 is conducting, the current will be flowing in this like this one, and in that case here we can say that current will be leaving from the dot, that is current is flowing in this direction, the lower part of the output transformer primary side, and then here the voltage, here the current will be entering this dot, or the polarity of the voltage across the load will become negative. Therefore you will be getting a amplified version of the signal across the load. Therefore this is a push-pull action that is taking place. Now to indicate this one, here during the positive half cycle of this input, here you can say that the upper transistor is, or TR1 is conducting, and then there will be a current through this one, upper part of the output transformer is conducting, and you will be getting a positive voltage. During the negative half cycle of the input, here the B will become positive, and here the TR2 will be conducting, and then the current will become like this one, and the output current will be just opposite, and you will be getting an opposite voltage of a negative voltage across the load. Therefore that is a push-pull action in a class B push-pull amplifier. And the resistance that is connected to the load, RL, that will be reflected on the primary side like this equation, that is RL dash equal to N1 by N2 whole square, but here the ratio is equal, here N1 is a center tap, that one. Therefore here the voltage, the resistance that is coming from the total is only 2N1 is that is why it is 2N1 by N2 whole square times RL. That is the resistance at the primary side. Coming to the derivation of collector efficiency or conversion to a class B push-pull amplifier here. In push-pull configuration, the two transistors are working in class B operation, and Q point will be located at the cutoff on both DC and AC. Therefore the Q point will be located at this point. There will be two transistors, they are operating in push-pull operation, and for the maximum signal operation, the two transistors in class B amplifiers are alternately driven from cutoff to saturation. That is both transistors alternately driven from cutoff to saturation, and to get maximum signal operation. Then peak AC output voltage, as we have seen here, this is the output voltage VCC, and here this is the VCC. Therefore, this is equal to the peak of that voltage. Here you can say that one is equal to this one. We'll be getting EDVC equal to VCC by 2. This is the VCC. So this is total VCC. So the peak value is equal to VCC by 2. And peak AC output current, that is equal to VCC by 2 RL. That is the output current at the load side. Therefore, the maximum AC output power, that is PAC max. Now, PAC max is given by the RMS value of the voltage into the RMS value of the current. RMS value of the voltage means peak value of this voltage is given by VCC by 2. So, for VCC divided by 2, and peak value of the current is given by VCC by 2RL. Therefore, it is equal to, or we can say that it is equal to IC max divided by root 2. Or substituting that one, we will be getting VCC divided by IC SAT, that is this IC SAT divided by 4.25 VCC into IC. Then input power supplied is equal to DC power input applied equal to VCC into IC. Now let us derive the equation for collector efficiency or conversion efficiency by class B push pull amplifier. That will be in the next slide. It will be there. Let us see the conversion or collector efficiency of class B push pull amplifier derivation. In that one, we are assuming the IP peak is the peak value of the current supplied by each transistor, peak value of the current, or peak value of the primary current. IP peak can be peak value of the primary current, and VP peak is the peak value of the primary voltage. That is the output transformer primary side, the peak value of the voltage and peak value of the current, VP peak and IP peak. And load side, if you see that at the secondary side you are have connected a load, therefore maximum value of that load current, that is IL peak, and VL peak is the peak value of the load voltage. Now NP is the number of turns on the primary side, and NS is the number of turns on the secondary side. Now here maximum value of the load current IL peak equal to secondary side turns equal to NS and primary NP, or NP by NS into IP peak, primary current peak value. That is the load current peak value. Similarly, VL peak is given by, that is equal to, it is VL peak equal to VP peak into NS divided by NP. Therefore, this is a VL peak and this is the IL peak, provided VP peak is the peak value of the primary current and IP peak is the peak value of the primary current, VP peak is the peak value of the primary voltage. Therefore, we have written what is the load current as well as load voltage maximum values in terms of primary maximum values. Then power delivered to the load is given by, this is the peak value, that divided by root 2, that will be given RMS value of the voltage across the load, and this is the current through the load, RMS value, that is VL peak divided by root 2 into IL peak divided by root 2. Then substituting this equation here, we'll be getting, it is equal to NP by NS, NP by here NP by NS into IP peak divided by root 2 into VP peak divided by root 2 into NS by NP. The NS and NP, this will be getting cancelling, or you'll be getting, it is equal to VP peak into IP peak divided by 2. That is VP peak into IP peak divided by 2 is the AC power delivered to the load PL. In class B power amplifier, it is possible to achieve an efficiency of that efficiency more than that of attainable in a class A amplifier. That is, the more it is here the conversion efficiency is more than class A power amplifier. Now what we have calculated is the AC power delivered to the load. Now let us see next slide, what is the DC power supplied from the DC source. Conversion or collector efficiency of class B push pull amplifier. The power supply current in a full wave rectifier circuit, because from the input DC supply primary side, current is from the DC supply. If you see, watch the waveform here, or the current supplied from a battery source, it is a full wave rectifier. Therefore, the power supply current in a full wave rectifier is having a peak value of this one IP peak. Therefore, the average value of the current supplied by the battery or from the DC source, that is 2 IP peak divided by pi. 2 IP peak divided by pi, the average value of the current supplied by the DC source. Then what is the DC power delivered delivered to the circuit by the DC source, that is given by this average value of the current into VCC, or 2 P peak divided by pi into VCC. Therefore, this is the DC power delivered by the DC source, and AC power delivered is already we calculated. Then we can calculate what is the conversion or collector efficiency, which is equal to AC power delivered to the load divided by DC power supplied from the battery into 100, that much percentage. That is equal to VP peak into IP peak divided by 2, then divided by this one PDC, that is equal to 2 into IP peak divided by pi into VCC. Or rearranging that one, we'll be getting pi into VP peak divided by 4 VCC. Now, under maximum signal condition, VP peak can be assumed as VCC. And in that case, substituting VP peak as VCC, the maximum conversion efficiency, or collector efficiency can be substituted by replacing VP peak by VCC. Pi into VCC divided by 4 into VCC into 100, 78.5%. 78.5% is the conversion efficiency for a class B push-pull amplifier. The maximum conversion efficiency. That is far more than class A push-pull amplifier. At no signal condition, the power loss is negligible, because when input is 0, there is no current, because it is working in near to cutoff. And conversion and collector efficiency is high. That is the advantage of class B push-pull amplifier. Compared to class A type of power amplifier, the class B push-pull amplifier, the disadvantage is that the crossover distortion. The crossover distortion in a class B push-pull amplifier, the distortion is induced by non-linearity of the input characteristic of the transistor. Because here, if a transistor can be considered as a 2 diodes which are connected back to back. Now, diode has got a characteristic that will cut in. If the voltage is above cut-in voltage, that will be conducting. One thing is that the operating point is near to the cutoff, unlike class A type of power amplifier. That is why, in order to start the conduction, the voltage should be more than the cut-in voltage. That is the characteristics of that device. Due to that one, this is the characteristics of that output, that is non-linearity of the input characteristics of the transistor. Forward bias voltage applied across the PN junction must be raised to a certain voltage, that is cut-in voltage 0.7 volt or something. Before junction starts conduction, there should be voltage more than 0.7 volt. Therefore, until the 0.7 volt, this input voltage reaching to 0.7 volt, that does not conduct. That is why we can say that one, this is the problem with that one. Output side, certain area, there is no current, or that will be zero current. And this is because this portion, this is called the crossover distortion. That is because of the non-linearity of the device transistor. Therefore, that is the problem with a class B push-pull amplifier, since it is operated near to the cutoff. Therefore, before junction conduct. Similarly, the voltage across the base emitter junction must reach to a certain level. Then only it starts conduction. That level before any appreciable base current, and hence the collector current. That is why we are getting a zero current duration, and that is what we call it as crossover distortion. Now, if you do the frequency, if you do the Fourier series analysis, apart from the fundamental, it contains certain harmonics, and that harmonics is because of this crossover distortion. That is because of the non-linearity of this device transistor, and we are selecting the operating point near to the cutoff, unlike class A push-pull amplifier. Due to that one, the crossover distortion happens. and as a consequence, the base signal applied to the class B power amplifier, transfer power amplifier, must reach to a certain minimum voltage before the collector current is properly in active region. This is the fact why the crossover distortion occurs. Due to that one only, that during this period only one voltage, base to emitter voltage is going more than the cut-in voltage 0.7, that starts conduction, base drive is coming, and then only you will be getting in the output. That is why during certain duration you are getting a zero current, and this is what we call it as crossover distortion. That is the problem with a class B push-pull amplifier. Though the the conversion efficiency is much higher than class A power amplifier, it is 78.5. The crossover distortion one was the disadvantage of a class B push-pull amplifier. In order to avoid this problem of this crossover distortion, we are going for a class AB push-pull amplifier, in which we are selecting the operating point between a point of class A and class B, and or we can say that one, the conduction duration, the collector current is conducting in between 180 degree and 360 degree, more than 180 degree and less than 360 degree of the input cycle. Therefore, in class AB, for that one we have to bias the this circuit. Only the change is that it's a push-pull operation itself, but you are biasing that transistor by a separate circuit like this one. An additional resistance is connected, and due to this one, this crossover distortion is removed by in class AB push-pull amplifier. In class AB push-pull amplifier, though crossover distortion is removed, the conversion efficiency is in between class A and class B power amplifier. The crossover distortion can be reduced or eliminated in push-pull amplifier by biasing each transistor slightly into conduction. That is done by connecting a resistor like this one. This transistor are brought to certain biasing. Even the zero input condition, it is biased so that this crossover distortion can be removed. That is done by biasing by these two resistors, R1 and R2. In class AB power amplifier, the class AB power amplifier reduces the crossover distortion, but it has the disadvantage of reducing the conversion efficiency. Since conversion efficiency of a class AB push-pull amplifier is in between that of class A and class B. Conversion efficiency is in between that one, but here crossover distortion is removed by biasing like this arrangement. Therefore, it's a push-pull amplifier itself, but only thing is that we are providing two resistors for biasing these transistors into conduction so that the crossover distortion is removed in class AB push-pull amplifier. All other operations are similar to class B push-pull amplifier. Here it is a center tap type output transformer, and this is a center tap at the input transformer. Everything is same. Only thing is that we are adding two resistors that will be biasing this transistors in the output side. That is in this it is marked as Q1 and Q2. Previously it was TR1 and TR2. For the class AB amplifier, reduce the crossover distortion, but it has disadvantage of less conversion efficiency. The fourth type of power amplifier is for class C power amplifier. The class C power amplifier, that is collector current will be flowing less than 180 degree of the input signal. Class C power amplifier. Therefore, this is the input signal. This duration is less than 180 degree. Therefore, then class C power amplifier. Class C power amplifier is an amplifier in which the transistor biasing with the transistor biasing and amplitude of the input signals are such that the output current flows less than half of the cycle of the input signal. That is, the collector current is flowing less than 180 degree. Therefore, for class C operation, the biasing circuit of the amplifier is so adjusted that operating point Q lies below the cutoff region. That is, below the cutoff region it is, because the conduction angle is less than 180 degree. These amplifiers are not used for power amplifications, but this can be used for tuned amplifier in radio frequency range due to high efficiency for a class C amplifier. This has shown a class C amplifier in which the transistor on here, it is a choke is connected, and this an inductor LC filter is connected at the output side series to the collector, and here we are taking an output at the collector point. Generally, class C amplifier is used in radio frequency range, and and that they are used in radio and TV receivers, where the input signal is passed through the tuned circuit, tuned LC circuit. The input signal is allowed to pass, and the tuned circuit is an LC circuit having a resonant frequency. Therefore, these are not for amplification purpose. For this radio, at the receivers of the radios and TV receivers, these type of Class C type of amplifiers are used. In Class C type of power amplifiers, the of course, the collector current is less than 180 degree of the input signal.